Hi, my name is Luke Kaufman. In this video, I will be interviewing a 59-year-old woman and asking her just a little bit about her exercise habits. Here's a short introduction on not only her, but myself as well.
I am currently teaching 6th through 8th grade PE at Jardine Middle School in Topeka, as well as I am the middle school head track coach, an assistant basketball coach at the middle school, and am currently the offensive coordinator at Topeka High School for the football team. To interview a person over the age of 50, I chose my mother. I chose her not because she was an easy pick and an easy person to interview for me, but because she has a great exercise habit and isn't afraid of any hard work. My mother has also coached volleyball in Kansas since 1978. She has over 500 wins, around 15 trips to the state tournament, and numerous other accomplishments. Some of those accomplishments are two Class 4A state championships. She was voted the Kansas Female Coach of the Year, and she has been voted the Wichita All-Metro Coach of the Year 3 or 4 times in her career. Needless to say, she has plenty of experience in the world of exercise.
Hi, my name is Sue Kaufman. I am 59 years old. I am a high school counselor and currently a high school varsity volleyball coach.
Why have you chosen to be physically active?
I've chosen, first of all, for my own health, because I want to stay as healthy as I possibly can, so I want to stay active. But I also am doing it because it helps me control my weight, keeps me more flexible, so I don't get the aches and pains that I did when I wasn't exercising, and because I still coach at the high school level. By staying physically active myself, it allows me to better control my practices. I have more energy, and I just feel better all the time.
When did you start your exercise program?
You know, the one that I'm on right now, I've been doing for probably the last year and a half, but I was on a different exercise program for that for the last 2 or 3 years. I've always done a little bit of exercise, but as I've gotten older, as I've gotten into my 50s, I've made a conscious effort to do something real specific just for my own health.
Are there certain types of exercises that you do?
The one that I'm doing now, I take a class at the Y on Sunday afternoons and Wednesday afternoons called Fierce, and it uses Tabatas, and it is an hour-long program. And a friend of mine at work and I started doing it. We've been doing it now for several months. It's hard work, but it's paying off. And then on the other days that I don't go to those 2 classes, I try to go to the Y at least another 2 to 3 times, and I do a weight loss exercise program on the treadmill, and I do it for an hour each time I go.
How has being physically active changed your life?
You know, I started specific exercise programs, it's been now about 4 or 5 years ago, because my weight had gotten up. I was always thin all my life until I got older, and I thought my weight was getting too high and I wanted to lose some weight. So at that time I started swimming and was going to the pool at least, I would say 3 to 5 times a week, swimming a mile every time I went, trying to increase my times. And I did it to lose weight. The first time I lost about 10 pounds. And then I did it to I started realizing how much better I felt, how much more flexible I was. I slept better. You know, my weight was controlled. I had more energy, moved around better, so I continued to do that. Now I have switched because I think it's a good idea to vary what you do. So now I am doing treadmill exercises in classes, and it's really made a difference in how I feel, and I just think it really benefits my health.
How do friends and family members react to your physically active lifestyle?
You know, I think everybody thinks it's a good idea. I think a lot of people talk about exercising. A lot of times we make excuses. I used to make excuses for doing it too, but as my husband and I both have gotten a little older, we decided that we needed to do something to stay in shape. We both are high school coaches. That takes a lot of effort and it takes a lot of energy to stay up with young kids. So, you know, it makes us feel better. Our joints are better. He has some knee problems. It keeps you more flexible. It just makes you feel better throughout the day. And I think people notice that. You know, people at school talk a lot about what they're doing. And the class I take at the Y, I take with another younger lady. She kind of got me involved in it. And it's been good because when we look at each other and think, don't want to go to the Y today, it's like if the other one's going, I feel like I have to be there. And so it's keeping me going to the Fierce classes pretty regularly. And even though I hate it while I'm doing it because it's such hard work, I really like it.
How do people treat you as a mature adult going into an exercise facility such as the Y or places like that?
Well, I exercise at the Y, excuse me, and the people at the front are, I've watched a lot of people going in and out, checking in, and they treat everybody the same. When they watch you check in, they try to call you by name. They try to say thank you for coming. They always say hi and that kind of stuff. When I started Fierce, the class Fierce, several months ago, I thought, uh-oh, I'm going to go in there and they're all going to be 20. And I'm going to be 59, and this is going to kill me, because there's a lot of jumping involved in Tabatas and the exercise that this lady does. And she's very young. She looks like a college-age student. But there were a few other people about my age. Most of them are younger, but there are some that are about my age, maybe even a couple that are older. And she treats every person in that class the same. She's very encouraging. She's a great leader. She pushes us, but she compliments you on what you're doing, and she's very encouraging. So I don't notice that she treats me as a 59-year-old any different than I know there's at least one girl in there that's in high school, and they're all treated the same. So I don't see any difference in, and that's where I go as the Y, and so the Y's pretty good about treating people equally, I think.
Are there things that you think prohibit mature individuals from participating in physical activity?
I think probably if you had physical ailments, like if your knees are bad. I know my husband has bad knees and he used to play racquetball. He can't play racquetball anymore. The doctor told him to quit because if he didn't, he was going to have knee surgery. I'm a little bit limited sometimes on the weight-bearing exercises that I do because I've had shoulder surgery. And that has limited me just a little bit, not a lot. I just can't do quite as much. So I think if you had a bad back or if you have certain joints, that can be a little bit limiting. I do notice that in my exercise programs, they try to make you do a lot of jumping exercises like jump and tucks. I don't do that very well. I do not jump well at my age anymore. I try, but I'm not near as able to jump as high as some of the younger people are. But like the exercise leader tells us, if you are moving constantly, she always gives us a different variety. If you can't jump, then you can step. If you can't do a lunge and jump, then you can do a lunge and reach. She always gives us some of those options when we're doing our exercise programs, and it really helps people who maybe can't do as much. But I noticed as I've gotten older, jumping is not one of the better things that I do, and so that limits a little bit, but I keep going. I keep adapting it to my own level.
What is your view of people your age and above being physically active? And are there things that you feel you shouldn't be doing, and things for such as, is it okay for you to play golf and not go parasailing or skydiving or do extreme activities like that?
I don't think there's anything that should limit me. I don't think my age should limit me at all. I think the only thing that can limit what you do is what kind of shape you're in and how well you train for it. I couldn't go out and run a marathon right now because I am not in shape to marathon, but I think someone my age could. I think it takes a little longer to get in shape than it did when I was younger, but I think I could probably get in shape to do almost anything that I wanted. Maybe not at the same level, but I can do it at a level that keeps me in shape, that pushes me, that gives me a challenge, and that keeps me active and keeps my health good. And that's really my main concern at this age, is to do things I enjoy, but most importantly to stay in good shape so that my health stays good and I stay strong as I get even older.
Well, you have been an outstanding interviewee. I appreciate your time, and I hope you have future successes with your exercise programs. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Well, there you have it. We all know that exercise is not only healthy for you and keeps you in shape, but now we know that it has no age limits. Hopefully this can inspire people of all ages to exercise just a little bit more. Thank you for taking your time out of your day to view this video, and hopefully we all learned a little something from it. Thanks.